solve this problem, merge string alternatively. So we are given two strings, word 1 and 2. So we need to return the output like append each string alternatively. So example 1 is like this. And then see the example 2. We have two given array. The length of the word 1 is 2, and the length of the word 2 array is 4. So in this case, we append each element alternatively, and then if the shorter array is finished to append, then the remaining elements is just appended all the time, all at once, at the end of this output merge string. So let's solve the problem with the code. So first, we need to define the variable for the length of each array. Word 1 length is word 1 length. And then we need to iterate over the shorter length. So we need to find the shorter length by using math.max method, like this. So by using this min method, we can get the minimum value between these two number value. So we're gonna iterate over the array till shorter length first. So first initial value is 0, and we're gonna iterate up to shorter length. And then we need the array for merged string. So I will just give the name with result. This is an empty array. So what we just do is create an array, empty array, and then push each element alternatively. So first is we're gonna start with the result push, and then we need the element to push. This will gonna be word 1 at index I, and also we need to push the element by adding a word to array at index I. And then after loop finishes until shorter length, there's gonna be a remaining thing, because longer array, there's the remaining elements from longer array. So we're gonna do first check if word 1 length greater than word 2 length, then remaining parts will gonna be word 1 array. So we're gonna push So what we want to add is remaining part. So to find the remaining element, we're gonna use slice method. So the drill gonna be like this. And then we wanna push this all elements, so we're gonna destruct this array. And else condition is gonna be word 1 length less than or equal to word 2 length. And then we can push remaining elements by using word 2 array. Make sense? Then we have an array with alternatively added element, and then we need to return the merge string. So to merge these strings, we can use join function. So it is very simple. Result join. So this means combine each element with this string. So what we want to return is just merged string, so that we're gonna be empty string. And then return this and run. All case passed and submit. Yep, that's it. And time complexity is just O of n. And then space complexity is also O of n. If I use the result, if I defined the variable with empty string, and then if I use the plus equal like this, in this iteration, each function, it is also makes sense, but space complexity will be worse, because every time we're gonna execute this line, new memory is allocated. So it's not good way to store the value. On the other hand, if we use the empty array to store each value, it is very efficient way to store the value. So we can optimize memorize effectively. So that's why I use this array to store the element. We're gonna solve the greatest common divisor of strings. So first, the moment I see this problem, I didn't know the concept of the greatest common divisor. So let me explain you. Greatest common divisor is the common string that divides both strings. So see this example 1. String 1 is ABC ABC and string 2 is ABC. So the common string that divides both two string is ABC. Let's look at the example 2. String 1 is AB 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 and string 2 is AB AB. And common string should be AB because AB divides both strings. That makes sense? And example 3. There's no common string that divides both strings. So that is why output is empty string. So by watching this example, we can assume there is common pattern that shares. So let's look at the code. We can assume that to find common strings from both string array, first we need to figure out it is a proper string to find the greatest common divisor. So that means we need to check if string 1 plus string 2 is not equal to string 2 plus string 1, like example 3. So that must return empty string, because there is no common pattern that divides between them. So that's why this empty string is return value. So if the if the specific case passes this line, that means that string will have the opportunity, right? Opportunity to find the greatest common divisor. That makes sense? So let's just define two variables. First is string 1 length. The reason why I define each variable as let, because these variables are immutable. See next code. Let's see next code. In this while loop, we're gonna swap two values, and then I will do also modulo operation. So let's just define temp variable with to store string 2 length, and then string 2 length stored by calculating this expression modulo, and then string 1 length store temp value. This means if I do modulo operation between them, then remainder of this expression is gonna be stored in string 2 length, and then we're gonna repeat this expression, this process, until str2 length is still not zero, and then after string 2 length is become 0, this while loop stops. So through processing this while loop, we can find the greatest common divisor between two string array. And after finishing this process, we have string 1 length, which is greatest common divisor. So we can do like this. This is the common divisor. That's it. So it is hard to understand what is the greatest common divisor. So the key point is there is common pattern between two string array. If not, there's no common pattern, so we need to return empty string. And after passing this expression, we can find the greatest common divisor. And this while loop means operating modulo operation. So processing, executing modulo operation makes helps us find the greatest common divisor. So let me just do that with this expression, with this example. Like, let's just go with this example 2. Temp is gonna be string 2 length is 4, right? And string 2 length is string 1, 6 modulo 4, and then 2, right? And string 1 length is temp. Temp is 4. So after processing just first time, then string 1 length gonna be 4 from 6 to 4, and string 2 length gonna be from 4 to 2, and repeat because string 2 length is still not 0. So temp is string 2 length 2, and then string 2 length is string 1 length 4 modulo 2 is 0, and then just put the temp value, which is 2. So after repeating once again, string 1 length is 2 and string 2 length is 0. So finally, string 2 length became 0. So this while loop will gonna be finished. And after that, return the value sliced by like this. So output is AB. That's why output is AB. Does it make sense? It's really tricky. So if you don't understand, just remember one side string contains many common patterns. So with example 1, S gonna be ABC, ABC, and T is ABC, which is greatest common divisor. Complexity gonna be O of log n, because by repeating this while loop, we can reduce effectively. By repeatedly calculating the remainder, the method shrinks the larger number and continues comparing with the smaller one until we find the value that both numbers can be divided by. So when we use the modulo operation, we are effectively reducing the size of the problem with each iteration. And space complexity we're gonna be just O1, because there's no evidence to O of n. We just store just once. Oh, that is not good explanation. Let me explain one more time. So space complexity is O1, since the algorithm only uses a constant amount of additional memory, regardless of the size of the input string, right? regardless of how many strings they have, we just only constant amount of additional memory, right? Yeah, that's it. We're gonna solve this problem, kids with the greatest number of candies. So let's get the explanation of this problem. We're given candies array. Each element is the number of candy of each student, right? And then we're given also extra candies. So if the first kid gives this extra candies, and then we need to compare if it is the greatest number of candies. So first one is 2 plus 3 is 5, and then which is the biggest number, greatest number of this array, because the max value is 5. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. It is also greater or equal to, right? So if the sum of current number of candy and extra candies greater than or equal to maximum value, return just true. And this one is also true because 6 is greater than 5, which is maximum value of this array. And true. And then there is the value returns false, which is 1. Because 1 plus 3 is 4, and which is less than the maximum value 5. So that's why false is returned. Yeah, other example is very simple. So let's try this code. So first all we need to do just at first is find the maximum value of this array. So I'm gonna use just math.max function of JavaScript. Candies. Math.max candies, right? And then all we're gonna do is just iterate this candies. Candies length, and then plus plus. Actually, we can use for or map. I want to introduce you guys map function. So map is the function that creates new array with same length. So if we use Candies and map, then there is provided callback function. We can use this. So item plus extra Candies greater than or equal to max num, and then if it's true or false. Actually, we can omit this expression because this expression also return Boolean value, but to just make sure and see exactly, I just prefer to use like this, but never mind. Yeah, this is the output. And if you want to use for, that's gonna be very simple. Just make the empty array and then push Boolean value by calculating like this, okay? But I'm not gonna use 4. So this is the end of this problem. Submit. And then, yeah. And time complexity is O of n because we need to iterate the length of this input array, right? And then space complexity is gonna be also O(n), I think, because new memory is allocated by this input string array. Yeah, that's the case with the greatest number of candies. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time.